Welcome. Today I will use the Apple iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil, and we'll look at some of the features of an app called Procreate. If you ever wanted to make drawings or export a time-lapse movie of your drawings, here's a great place to start. Alright, here is your iPad Pro. If your school doesn't have access to one, ask them to buy one for you because they're really cool. My school happens to have access to them right now. So we also have a Bluetooth keyboard here that is attached to it as well. One of the first things I want to show you is the Apple Pencil. It's got the tip on the end, as you can see there. It's got a charging cord attached right now, and it has a charging cord that can be disconnected here. And also there is this piece as well that you want to make sure is attached properly before you're charging it. What I'm going to do first is start up my program Procreate here. Alright, now that we're in Procreate, I want to show you exactly where to start. What will happen is you'll come up with all the items that you've been working on here, or items that they've given you. Click the plus at the top of the screen. You can either hit New Canvas at the bottom and type in whatever size by pixel you would like, or you can come to screen size or A4. I'm simply going to use screen size right now. Up here are your brushes. These are the sizes. The color is up here as well, so let's pick a background color. The first thing I'll do is click my layers here and click my background color and pick a darker background color here. Maybe I'll pick a color for my brush as being bright red or a little lighter than that. And then I'll pick my brush type. I do like those technical pens. Over here, my size of my brush, you can see the size of it changing. And it will also change with the amount of pressure that you put onto the pad. So as you press harder, it will get thicker. And so thin all the way to thick. One of the cool features of Procreate is after you've created a drawing and you wanted to export it as a video, Final Touch over here, up here where we have our wrench, we can hit the wrench and we can say share or even export video, and it's going to be exporting video, and we can export it anywhere we'd like to export it. Or we can go to the video and see the time-lapse replay of it. I can also export this instead of a video. I can share it as artwork, and I can share it as any of these types. One of the other excellent things you can do with your iPad Pro is to screen capture, and one of the ways you can do that is through Quicktime Player. We'd like to choose a new movie recording, but instead of choosing our FaceTime camera, we'll choose our iPad Pro over here. We'll click that little arrow there on the side and choose iPad Pro instead of FaceTime camera. And now you can see my iPad Pro is being mirrored on my Mac. I can open up Procreate and I can start a new drawing. So if I wanted to teach you something about particle physics, we could do something relatively simple like beta decay. We could say beta decay is when a neutron decays into a proton and a beta particle and our antineutrino. And so we could represent this with a Feynman diagram. We could say space is down here, time is over here, and as we start with our first particle, our neutron, that's moving through time and space, and at one vertex then it's going to change into another particle, and so we'll label this as my neutron down here, and this is going to be our new particle, our proton. At this vertex here, it's going to release a photon. That photon is going to be represented by a dashed line. And that dashed line then, at the end of that vertex, it will split into two other particles. And those two other particles are going to be your electron and your antineutrino. And so now we can go through with our conservation of charge and say that a neutron has a charge of 0 and our proton has a charge of +1, which means that our carrier boson here needs to be a W+ boson. At the same time, we could go through and conserve lepton number. Our neutron and our proton are both not leptons, so those have a lepton number of 0. Our electron has a lepton number of 1. It is a lepton. And our antineutrino has a lepton number of -1, so 1 and -1 add up to 0, so our charge is conserved there as well. We can then go through and look at the charges of our bosons and say how many bosons do we have here? We have one boson. Here we have another boson. So in this vertex here, we have one coming in, and we also have one coming out. So our boson number is also conserved. This has been a lot of fun. And remember, science is fun.